Guys, today I'll be making the typical Nigerian assorted meat stew. You know that stew you make on Sundays when you get back from church or before you go to church? This unspoken rule that Sundays are reserved for rice and stew, and those ones are specially prepared. They're not like the stew you make within the week. Yeah, so today I'll be making that stew. I'm using chicken, cow tripe, beef, and gizzard. So I go in with my seasoning. I use garlic, onions, thyme, rosemary, salt, seasoning cubes. I go in with curry, smoked paprika, and basically any spice that would boost the flavor of your meat. So when I boil meat, I don't add water, especially if it's been in the freezer, because it generates water while you boil. So you boil for 15 to 20 minutes, and then I transfer to the air fryer. Here we can see the meat is ready, so I transfer to the air fryer at 180 degrees for 20 minutes till I got the desired texture I needed for my meal. So here the meat is ready, and then I go ahead to start preparing my stew. So in my saucepan, I add oil. I'm using sunflower oil for this. You can go ahead and add a cup of oil, but that depends on the quantity of stew you're making. So after my oil got hot, I added my chopped onions. You would want to stir for the onions to simmer for a bit and give you a whole lot of flavor. Onions is packed with a lot of flavor aside health benefits. So I go in with my chopped garlic again. I'm a lover of garlic. I love garlic, and then I love when there's enough garlic flavor in my stew. It hits different, guys. I go with my tomato puree. When you add this particular guy, you would want to give it a proper stir. It's fond of burning if you let to sit or if your heat is too high. So I go in with mixing so that I can get an even cook. The one is going to get burned today, not on my watch. So yeah, I go on and mix. I cover and allow to fry for about 15 to 20 minutes. You could stay longer, but all this depends on the quantity of puree you're using. And then I go ahead and add my blended pepper and fresh tomato. So here it is, mixed properly. For me, mixing is essential when making stew, because most times it could start burning from one side or the other. So after I let to simmer for about 15 minutes, this is the result. And I decide to mix again to deglaze the pan. Don't want to take chances here. Mix, and well, till I'm satisfied. I close again, but not entirely this time around because I needed it to fry better. And then I close for about 5 to 10 minutes this time around till I got the desired texture I needed, and I saw that for real my tomato has properly fried. Now I go in with my meat stock, in this case the assorted meat I prepared earlier. I go in with the stock, I go in with my spices. I mean, we're making the stew already, so I go with dried garlic, a little more garlic, um, dried grated ginger, some more smoked paprika. It gives a really cool flavor. I go with my curry, my thyme, my rosemary. I go in with some dried pepper and salt. So because I'm using the stock from the meat I initially prepared, I don't add a whole lot of seasoning at first so that I could be sure of the taste. So that you don't add a little too much salt or some other spice. If you need to add some more, definitely you go ahead and add. But I was okay with the taste I had going. You can just let it simmer for the next 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, for as long as you think is necessary. So here it is, my stew is ready. So I am having this wonderful stew today with rice. But sure, you can go ahead and eat with anything. You can dish with potato, even your soup. That's with okra definitely. But here we're using rice today. If you want to give your rice some color, just add a little turmeric or curry to it when boiling it, and it gives you a colored look. Well, the color you want. So here, guys, is our assorted meat Nigerian stew, the typical Sunday stew.